right now. Thank you for reminding
Awesome.
me. Okay, so we're recording. And so this month, just the May stuff that's going on, there's the $20 off the Ultimate Portion Fix Challenge Pack. And I am reading it, so I'm looking in here. And all month you can get Success Club 5 to earn the prizes. They have those like every 3 months you get a prize. I don't know if you guys have seen that, the quarterly prizes. And you can earn an invitation to the Success Club tailgate party if you're going to Summit. And there's also a leadership party that's for diamonds and above. And then, let's see, 50% off of some of the apparel in the shop. Last month, I think it was free shipping. This month, it's 50% off the apparel. So, and then if you haven't registered already for Summit, like if you have your ticket and you just need to register for your stuff, it already opened up. It just opened up 2 days ago. So you can go do that, just registering for like which block you're going to be in and stuff and which workouts you're going to do. And that's right, the May 20th, the vegan Recover is coming out, the chocolate one. So I'm pretty excited about that. And what is this one? Launch of Performance Whey chocolate packets. I didn't know that. So I wonder if that's the Recover. Do you know about that, Amy?
Yeah, I think it's the Recover, and they're going to do it in single serve packets.
Cool. So that launches May 29th. And so on May 31st, all of those real-time 21-day fix workouts are coming out to the regular bod. So if you purchase the Ultimate Portion Fix, you've had access to them, the pre-release, but they'll come out May 31st for everybody else. So that's all I got in here. So if you have any questions, you probably got the same email. I just sometimes don't read them. So I thought I would share so we all see it. But and then I'll let you kick us off, Amy, with kind of our topics tonight, what we're going to talk about. So.
All right. So since we're recording, I thought maybe a few more people would jump on, but all good. They can catch the recording. So basically the whole point of our call tonight was just to go over the very, very, very basics. And I think that basically all I want to say is this whole jog is very, very, very basic. No matter what call I've ever been on, no matter what coach I've ever heard speak, it all comes down to them saying the exact same thing, and it's just consistency, right? It's not, nobody has something magical that we don't have. It's consistency. And I have a cat. Hold on. I have a cat ass in my face. So when I started coaching 2 years ago, I had 300 friends on Facebook, and I did not have an Instagram account. And the thought of doing like even something like this, like a Zoom call or like a YouTube video or going live was like, ugh, like throwing up, like sweat. So all that to say, I've grown a lot, and that's part of what this process is just growing, facing your fears, doing a lot of things that you probably would have never thought, like this. So I was just going to give 3 quick tips. Number 1, like I said, be consistent. And what I mean by that is by showing up in your posts every single day. I know a lot of people show up here and there, but if you think about yourself and somebody who you're going to put trust into and who you would want to follow, it's going to be somebody that every time you open Facebook, there they are. Every time you open Instagram, there they are. So you need to be showing up on a consistent basis, and you need to be giving them something to read, as in something inspiring. You need to either teach them something, whether it's like meal prep, or make them laugh. That's what we've always been taught, is like, it doesn't always have to be your workouts and your nutrition, but a positive post, something funny. And again, we're all about being like real. So I've posted a lot about like my anxiety and all of that, but give it like a positive spin at the end. So keep it real, but give it like, I woke up with so much anxiety, but here's what I did. I meditated or whatever. So like you're kind of teaching them something. So that's my first tip. The second, let me say something else about that. I just had a coach start 3 days ago and she posted day 1. It was awesome. Day 2, her post was amazing. Today, and she's like, nobody's liking my post. Nobody's commenting. I'm going nowhere fast. And I'm like, I felt the exact same. I'm sure all the coaches did, right? And that's that point of which, when you're like, nobody's reading my stuff. I'm talking to nobody. How do I keep going? But again, the more that you keep going, and in my head, I will always pretended that I was talking to like a million people, even if maybe I was only talking to like none, one, two. You put in your head, and eventually your momentum builds, but you've got to push past that awkward, weird phase where really nobody's liking your stuff because they're like, where's this girl coming from? What is she talking about? But eventually they're like, oh, what is she saying? Okay, I'm going to start reading because she's being consistent and she keeps showing up. So maybe I'll give it 5 minutes to actually read her post. So you got to push past that beginning, right? Number 2 is videos and stories. So as important as our posts are every day, I think it's even more important to do stuff in your stories or go live, because for me, I like to get to know a person. I like to get to know their personality, if they're silly, if they're quirky, this and that. And so that's going to come through in your stories, and that's going to come through if you do a live video. That's going to come through if you do a YouTube video. So I think as good as a post is, it's like, show me who you really are. And so sometimes I get the most feedback when I'm acting super silly, like dancing in my living room, and they're like, that's hilarious. And I connect with people that way. Other people might look and be like, this girl's a nut, I would never follow her. And that's okay too. That's not my person, right? So, and again, when it comes to like doing your stories, it doesn't have to be just fitness. It doesn't have to be just nutrition. Talk about a good book you've read and like do a post about a book. Talk about traveling tips. Talk about meal prep. Talk about your kids. Talk about your dog. Talk about whatever. People want to get to know you on more than just a fitness and nutrition level. Okay, third tip is to connect. So connection is more than just going through and liking people's posts. People love talking about themselves, right? So ask them a question. So go through their posts, and you know, if somebody had a birthday party, be like, oh my God, that's awesome. Happy birthday. What did he get? If somebody's posting, or even if it's a workout, you know, like, how was your workout? Do you work out at a gym? Like, get that connection going with people so that when you do send them an invite, they're kind of like, oh yeah, I know who she is. She's connected on my stuff before. Because I know for when I first started, I found it awkward. So I was just like, oh, that's great, awesome. But that was getting me nowhere. So you have to put in the extra effort. And the more you engage with people and that they respond, it does something with the algorithms, I believe, so that you do come up more often in other people's posts and stuff. So I just know that engagement back and forth, the engagement you get on your stories is good, and you show up in the feeds a lot more from what I've been told. So anyways, do your engagement. That is about it that I wanted to say right now, other than just be consistent. I'm a little bit stubborn, which I do think has been really good in this business, because I'm like, you know what? I'm going to show up every single day and blah, 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 and I'm going to make this work. And all I can say is that, like, it's like a snowball, and it keeps getting bigger. And now it's so much easier for me to post. It's so much easier for me to connect with people because I've been doing it every single day. I do it when people don't like my stuff. I do it when people like my stuff. I put it out there, and it's just part of my job. And the last thing is just doing the power hour every day. And that is something that we could do. There's a lot of live power hours, and I actually did one today, one that my coach did, and I followed it, and it really kept me on track, because I know a lot of times I think that I'm going to sit down and do my work and connect with people and invite, and then squirrel, I'm like checking emails, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So I find that when there's something that actually prompts you to do it, you do it a lot better. So we can always do that. And again, if people are catching the recording, they can leave a comment if they think that's a good idea. But I can go on weekly, whatever, to do live power hours, so that you guys have something to follow, some guidelines. But that's about all I got. So I'll let Carly take it over.
Okay, that was really good. And I'm kind of just piggybacking off of everything that you said. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about connecting too, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about inviting and following up. So, and connecting has been on my mind so much lately, because it's something I realized I wasn't doing as much as I thought I was doing. It was like, I had built some momentum. I was finally being consistent because, I mean, I've been coaching a while, and it just took me a long time to realize, oh, what everyone says about consistency really is true. It really is important. And so anyways, so I'd been consistent for a while. Things were going pretty good, but then I was like, why is it slowing down? What's going on? And so I was really looking at my business, like, what am I doing? And I just wasn't connecting enough. Like I was going through posts, and I would comment every once in a while, and I would send like happy birthday messages, but I was kind of using that as my connection. And I was like, no, Carly, that's way too unintentional. And so just piggybacking off of what she was talking about, commenting on people's stuff, going through their stories, and really just what I've realized works for me is the first thing that pops into my head, as long as it's nice, I just comment it. Like, I don't be sassy, but obviously you want to connect with people in a positive way. So something I wouldn't normally do. Normally I'd be like, I think about it like 4 more times, and then I just wouldn't comment. So I say it, whatever, and I go on, and it helps me connect fast. And what I also use is I've been using the collections on IG, and I don't know if anyone's used those or if anyone's watched. Micah did a video on that, and we can probably share that in our team pages if you want. Amy, I know I have it somewhere because I sent it to my team once. But anyways, it's really good, and she's really good at that. So anyways, I'm just starting to figure it out. Let me share my screen, and I'll show you just a couple of things because we're going to go right into just inviting and following up. It'll be pretty brief, but I just want to chat with you about it. So let me remember how to share it. There it is. Okay, let's see. Oh, it said I was signed out. I'm not signed out, am I? I'm still here, right?
Yep.
Can you guys see my screen? You probably saw the same.
I can see you.
That's funny. Okay, so it's really not that funny, but let me go to, I guess we were talking about connect. So really it was just what Amy was saying, like never underestimate the power of connecting, because that's everything in this business. It's feeling connected to someone, especially before you can send them an invite. Like I know sometimes people are already commenting on your stuff, and it's more natural that way, but if not, being able to connect them, like they were saying on the wake up call, I can't even remember his name, but like that 2-week period, like that's a solid period where you can connect and get to know people or get your name in there, field of vision or whatever. So anyways, so the other thing I was going to mention is Facebook friend lists. I still do this, but I don't do it as well as I did at one time. And the reason is I think the algorithm's a little funky on it, but it still gets me connecting with some people that don't maybe post in their stories or something like that. So if you don't know what that is, we can get you a video on that too. You just make lists, and I just do it like quarterly, and I just add people to the quarterly list. But at least it makes you connect with people you might not normally like. So as I add new friends, I just add them in there. And you can decide if a paper and pen list is good for you. I know that Success Club business activity tracker thing has a place where you can put people you connect with, and you can put a date on it. So you could come back like every couple of days. And if that helps you, I think it would take longer, but that is one way that you can do it. Okay. So that's basically all about connecting. I don't want to harp on that way too long. So invites, they aren't as complicated as you think. So try to remember that. Keep it simple, sweetie. Like if you just keep everything simple and don't overcomplicate it, which I know Amy has said a million times. I'm sure if you're on my team, you've heard me say it. Like you don't have to overcomplicate it, okay? So just keep it super simple. So I wanted to show you guys some sample invites. Thumbs up if you guys can see this, right? You already told me you can see it. So, okay, I'll just make it bigger. So like these are pretty basic. I realized that when I send an invite, I try to think like what would feel good to me to get back. It's like, would this feel icky? Would this feel weird? And so super simple and basic would make me feel great. So that's what I try to stick with. So you can, I don't know, I'll read a couple, I guess, but I don't need to read all of them because you guys can see them, and I can send this to anybody. We can post it on our pages, whatever. Hey girl, thanks for following along on my stories. I don't know if you saw, but I just kicked off a virtual fit club and would love to have you in there with us. Do you want more info about that? And I send that to people that obviously that just follow my stories. Like, so even if we haven't connected a ton, if they've been following my stories, like I don't mind at all sending them that. I don't feel weird. one bit because they're interested in my life or they wouldn't watch my stories every day. I mean, right? Because otherwise that'd be kind of weird that they're watching my stories every day. So another one, if I do a transformation post, I'll go through my likes and I'll be like, hey girl, thanks so much for the support on my transformation post. Have you ever thought about jumping into my virtual fit club with me? I just kicked off a new one and would love to have you in there. Like super simple, super basic. I'll stop there because there's another one I'll show you guys. These are some more invites, and these are great too. These are super personal and they share a little bit more than the other ones. So, but I don't think they're overcomplicated either. But they just share a little bit more about why you like them. You know, of course you would want to tweak it for you, but I mean, coming on a personal level here. So, like, hey, I don't know if this is for you, but I'm putting together an online fitness group, and I'd love to send you some info on it if you're interested. I love these groups for 2 reasons. They keep me accountable and they help others reach their own fitness and nutrition goals. It's a win-win for everyone. I've always struggled with my self-image. While I'm forgiving of others, I'm not very forgiving of myself. However, I've learned that when I work out, eat healthy, and surround myself with like-minded people, I'm significantly happier in all areas of my life. It may not be something you're interested in at this time, and that's perfectly okay. If not, no big deal. Just let me know either way. So that's sharing a lot about how it helped you, and so that could definitely trigger some of their like pain points, you know, like what they would need in their life. So that could be super helpful for them. But I know you guys can look through those. So the other thing, and I guess I should touch on about invites too, is when you're looking for people to invite, because I kind of overlooked this, but you might be wondering, like, how do I find people to invite? So you go through your stories, you can find people there. Anyone that's following your stories. If you don't have a huge following yet, I know it's going to be tough, but spend those first couple of weeks just building your following on Instagram and on Facebook. Really focus on expanding, because a lot can happen in 2 weeks. Like, you can get people that are watching your stuff, interested in what you're doing. Like, even if you're like, I have no one right now, you can get people. So focus on that first, and the posting like Amy was talking about, and then you can have people to invite. In the meantime, you can invite family and close friends or friends from high school. Like, you can still find people. What I did in the very beginning, I went through my Facebook friends list, and I just wrote down like huge lists of people to invite. A lot of them were just old friends from college. And I mean, it worked, and I just had an invite that I sent to them, and that's how I got started in the beginning while I was still expanding, and it worked well. So anyways, and on to follow-ups. This is another one that it took me a long time to have a good system. Apparently I'm a slow learner or something. It takes me a while to do stuff that everybody's been telling me to do all along, right? So don't be like me. But follow-ups, you have to have a way to track them. Like, that is so important. Whether it's paper and pen, whether it's Google Street, I don't know how to use that, but apparently it's awesome. Whether it's Teamsy, whether it's I don't know what else, a notepad on your computer or whatever. So I'll tell you how I do it. That doesn't mean it's the rule of thumb for everybody or law or whatever. But what I have found that has worked for me is I have a note section that connects from my phone and my computer. And I literally just have a follow-up notes. I have like January, February, March, April, May, June groups. And then I have the same for coaching. And so then as I'm talking to someone, if they're like, no, or no, not right now, or they give me a certain time they might be ready, they go straight to that list. And so then I have a whole group of people that I can go and I can follow up with, okay? So hopefully that's helpful. I'll show you a few follow-ups, and then I forgot to look at what time I started, so I'll just show you a few, or read a few or whatever. So let's see. Oh, one that I use if it's someone that I've talked to a long time ago and I'm like, oh, I need to like follow up with them again. I'll say that I know you were interested in joining an accountability group before and it just wasn't the right time, but I wanted to talk to you about getting into my next boot camp. We've got some great products coming up. Of course, this was when there was a sale coming up, along with some great sales, so it's the perfect time to start. You could tweak that right now. There's a sale, $20 off Ultimate Portion Fix. Tweak it a little bit. You can use that as a follow-up if you need one. You could also use it as part of an invite. Like, you could talk about how there's awesome sales on something you love. If you're doing the Ultimate Portion Fix, guys, share about it. Like, hey, I'm using this new nutrition program and I love it. Are you looking for something like that in your life? It's on sale for the rest of the month or whatever, you know. And I know sometimes that can feel too salesy. It depends on your relationship with the person, really. let's see, one more. So if, let's see, like, hey girl, I'm just opening up spots for my May Virtual Fit Club and I didn't want you to think I forgot about you. Do you want to do it with me? That one I usually feel like people respond to pretty well because they don't want to be forgotten. They want to know you remembered them. You honored your word when you said you checked back with them. That's another reason it's important to keep a list of follow-ups, because you definitely don't want to tell someone you're going to follow up with them and then forget to follow up with them, right? Because then they're like, oh, I don't really trust her anyways. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to find the stop screen share. Been a while, guys, since I screen shared. There we go. Pause share. Okay, I'm glad this is all recorded with me being crazy. Okay, I think that's all I had. I hope it wasn't way too long. And I hope it was helpful for y'all. So I think that's kind of the gist of it. Do you have anything else, Amy, that you want to add?
No, I was just gonna say, can you hear me? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I was just gonna say about the follow-ups. They used to make me so nervous following up because I was like, how do I go about this? We've already talked and she never reached out. And like you said, when I did, they were always like, oh my God, you remembered. That's so awesome. Like, I get such positive feedback from my follow-ups, which I think is amazing.
Yeah.
And that's how most of my sales and challengers have come through, is all follow-ups. Like the initial invite really is nothing. And then, then I reach out again and I reach out, and sometimes it's 3 times. But if they're continuing to like my stuff and continuing to follow my stories, then I feel like I have a right to ask them, hey, you're still watching. Why don't you do this with me? And yeah, that's where most of my success is. So they do say success is in the follow-up. So yeah. I agree that it's important to find a list. If it's paper and pen, whatever works. But yeah, keep those people because they're your people.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I think that's all we have. Do you have any questions? Right.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Are you overwhelmed, Catherine?
Well, I'm getting back into this after dealing with everything.
Yeah.
And planning a memorial, so it's a lot of fun. Not really.
Yeah.
It's just like getting back into everything and trying to deal with everything and dealing with the loss, and yeah.
Yeah, I know. You've had a not so easy go of it lately.
No.
But yeah, hopefully that eventually this will be like a good thing, like, because there's a lot of positive, like in our groups and stuff, right? So I do think that it's a good thing eventually for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just dig into the vitals, and especially heavy on the personal development.
Yeah.
Anything right now, right?
Yeah.
So.
Cool. Okay, well, thanks for jumping on, Catherine. That's awesome. And
no problem.
We'll recording.
Yeah, and we'll send the video link to Micah doing the, what did I say? Instagram collection. I already forgot. Okay, so yeah, if you're watching the recording, I'll send that in the thread. So anyways. Bye.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop the recording.